to take him.
Oh, okay. I'll pick him up over here. Hey, Joe.
Yo, what up, guys?
What's going on?
So this is the first time I've experienced this. I pull up to a Starbucks drive-thru at like 6 a.m. this morning, and I'm actually facing someone. I'm looking at the screen and seeing the person taking my order, their face on the screen. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, that must suck. At 6 a.m., you actually have to put on a pleasant face to take someone's drive-thru order.
Wait. There's a camera on the person when you're placing your order?
Yep.
Why?
So there's a camera on me so they can see who's in the drive-thru, and then there's a camera facing for the person that's inside taking my order.
Why do you need to see them?
That's what I thought. I literally said to her, I was like, wow, like, I was like, that sucks. Like, you would see me, but I normally wouldn't have to see you. She's like, yeah. I was like, do you have to put on, like, a pleasant face every day? She's like, yeah, like, we're trained to do that now. And I'm like, that sucks. You can't.
I like that. We're trained to put on a pleasant face now. Do they have, like, one of those, ARC-fish, angelfish motion capture headlamps on where, like, they're stationary in the frame? Or, yeah.
They should put a filter on it.
Live. It's ridiculous.
They should put a filter on it, like a Snapchat or an Instagram filter, that makes it always look like they're smiling and happy.
That one where your face, where your mouth gets huge and you see your teeth and your tongue.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
But, like, I would be that person that would get fired for, like, eye-rolling numerous amounts of times, mouthing curse words into the mic because a person can't get their order right or they're cutting me off.
No, but also, but the thing is, too, is if you're going through the drive-thru, like, I don't understand why you need to see them while you're placing your order, because when you go around to pay 20 feet away, you're going to see them.
Alan, it's a friendly face while making your order in your car. It's all about customer service.
Is that where we are? You got to see the person who's taking your order? Like, I will fully understand. Listen, I assume anyone who's in that line that early in the morning getting coffee is because they need to be in a better mood. So I would fully understand if the person taking my order is right there with me. We'd be looking at each other going, can you believe this shrimp?
Yeah, exactly. It was the first time I had it happen to me. I was like, wow, that sucks. And then I was like, all right, and move on the rest of my day.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, Joe.
I appreciate it. Be safe.
All right. Joe in Philly, who's, boy, doing his level best. But now that Starbucks says that they're going to be going into lower income neighborhoods, who knows? Sometimes they've got real... I got to tell you, some of the girls that are working these Starbucks drive-thrus, I don't mind if there's a camera on them.
Yeah.
I don't need one on me, though.
Well, they want to record the
hooligans.
Yeah, and they also like to know who ordered what.
Well, yeah, sure, I understand that. Hey, what do you think it takes to become... what is the vetting process to become a Cleveland police officer? If you want to become Cleveland PD, what is keeping you from doing that anymore?
Well, I don't know. You gotta... I got bad answers.
I was reading I'm reading about the cop who pissed on the girl and is going to prison. A cop. Who... Did you read about this guy?
No.
This has been in stages, obviously, because the case... He was just sentenced, right? So the case obviously has been going for a while. So the news is old. But they just said that they gave him 4.5 years in prison. This was a cop, a Cleveland police officer, who peed on a 12-year-old girl at a bus stop. She was at a school bus stop.
Drip, drip, drip.
Officer Robert Kelly... No, I'm kidding.
I was going to say, now, was this in a sexual nature, or he was trying to degrade her?
He was trying to degrade her, I believe.
The shades of difference, my friend. I mean, what is a good reason? Why make a distinction
There's not
like
a good
that?
Reason,
no,
but it's not like he was... Like, he just peed on her, too. Like, I think he had her handcuffed and he peed on her.
Ooh.
Yeah. Solomon Niwatiwa was a former Cleveland police officer who urinated on a 12-year-old girl after she refused to get in his car at a school bus stop. So I can only assume to set the stage here, I'm sure they did this in court, but you pull up, she's waiting for the bus, get in, no, he gets out? I mean, he's not firing an arc through the passenger window.
Yeah, imagine.
So what's the vetting process? Because, listen, I get that it's admittedly a small number of, but what...
Can you hold it?
Literally, what is the vetting process? You hear about these guys who are
How's
like...
your bladder?
Oh, my God.
Blue Lies bladder.
The judge says she was not convinced that he was truly sorry for his conduct. He was looking at 7.5 years. Charges of attempted kidnapping, obscenity.
So he didn't even have a reason to try and put this girl, like, she wasn't under arrest. I mean, she's 12, so it's very strange that he would even approach her. I just don't get it.
Well, they put on that badge, and then they think, like...
But he okay,
authority.
so he had only been a Cleveland cop for 5 years, right? He had been disciplined 4 times in 5 years. He was involved in a fatal shooting while working as a security guard before he was a Cleveland cop. So he's got that in his jacket, and they go, yeah, come on. We're just looking for warm bodies.
I think...
I mean, if you look up Cleveland Police Academy, they'll give you what you need to do. Meet the minimum qualification for prospective officers.
Is it like being
You gotta meet the
007?
minimum, huh?
Is it like being 007? You have to have 2 confirmed kills.
Is that what 007 needs?
Yeah.
2 confirmed kills.
Yeah, when he was trying to become a 00 agent in Casino Royale, that's one of the first things that they were talking about. Like, he had to have 2 confirmed kills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now he's going to go to prison, and what do they do to the cops in prison?
I think they're just really nice and respectful to them.
Yeah, they just take care of him.
Mm-hmm. They go, oh, well, I mean, you were a police officer, so you were serving the community. We want to make sure we treat you right.
You work hard for the money, and you better treat you, put your face in the toilet.
Put your face in the toilet.
He's going to get worked over in prison.
So meet the minimum for qualifications.
Is that minimum security, though? Is it going to maximum?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know, but, I mean, he did something to kids, and if you did something to a kid, you're not looked at in a favorable way in prison.
Yeah, but nobody's watching The Outsider except me?
No, I haven't watched it.
That's about a guy who was accused of killing a kid. And they put him in the holding tank by himself. And all the guys across the hall from him are like, tomorrow morning, when you come back from court, we're going to kill you. We're going to murder you. And they're just lying there trying to sleep. Mm-hmm. You got to take the Cleveland Civil Service exam. Sorry.
Civil Service, yeah.
Sorry. Freudian slip. Well, I'm thinking about the weekend, Bill. I can't.
Meehole.
I'll tell you what. All this talk of Poundcake and Meehole and when's coming in later, I want to take that Civil Cervix exam. Woo!
That's where I want my funeral, me whole.
The Cleveland Civil Service exam, you got to pass the physical agility test.
Stick and move? Is that right?
You got to complete an online application and personal history questionnaire. Complete a personal interview. Pass the psychological evaluation.
Is that like a lie detector test?
I don't know about that.
They need, like, remember when you would apply for a job at, like, Target or, like, Blockbuster, and you'd have to take those tests?
Long questionnaires.
Long questions, like, yes, no, maybe, like,
I hated
you had
that.
to answer those. Did the cops have to take a test like that? Like, if there's a 12-year-old at a bus stop, should you pee on her? Yes, no, maybe.
But again,
So, will you pee on her?
Yes, but people
Always
lie.
yes. Sometimes yes. Never.
Almost never.
Almost
But
never.
these aren't stupid people. These people know right from wrong. They choose to do
what I'm
wrong because
saying,
they think they'll get away with it.
What I'm saying is, are they that hard up where CPD goes, look, this guy's got a ton of baggage before he's even coming to us.
I'm sure.
But let's put him through.
Yeah, I'm sure maybe they are
The guy was 34. He'd been a cop for 5 years. And he was a security guard before that. So at 29, he goes,
and
I
as
want
a
to be a
security
cop.
guard, he killed somebody, right?
Right. Well, it said he was involved in a fatal shooting. I
Okay.
assume that means he killed somebody.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that was justified. I don't know the thing with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, Jesus, how do you go from that to, yeah, boy. Listen, I've had jobs before where I was bored. But,
Yeah, well, I mean,
you know,
I don't know.
oh, God, I shouldn't have had that big gulp. Hey, there's a 12-year-old over there.
This is someone trying to, I think, like Poundcake saying, just abuse their power.
Yeah.
They think they can get away with it because they get that badge and they feel like they're untouchable.
And I'm sure it was probably a little black girl. He definitely didn't pee on a little white girl because he would be a pedophile. Like, he would be marked as all this stuff for the rest of his life.
Well, you're acting like the guy got off scot-free because it was a black girl. The guy's going to prison. I mean, he went through the justice system.
Yeah, but
and,
I honestly think it's because he's a cop, not because he, peed on a little girl.
no,
He
but
did it
you're
as an
throwing
authority
black
figure.
and white into it. I know you like to do that, but this situation wouldn't have been any different if this had been. I don't know if the girl was black or white. Cop's black.
She's 12. That's all that
She's
really
12.
matters.
Yep.
And she
I
got
don't care what
peed on.
color she is.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, We know what color she ended up. But listen, the point is, Bill.
They were all yellow.
Oh, that's not... Oh, Coldplay, by the way. Yeah,
right.
I'll tell you what. That iHeartRadio alter ego, they did a hell of a job at that. That happened? It did happen, didn't it?
Yeah.
We gave away all those trips, and I forgot when it was. You know, the Cavaliers lost last night against the Wizards, who are not a great team, but they're better than the Cavaliers. And so they beat them, 124 to 112. And so they are mercifully taking tonight off. Cavs haven't won a game since the 11th of this month.
Was that a 6-game losing streak I think they're on right now?
Something.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's not easy for them right now. Tomorrow night, they will play the Chicago Bulls. Steve Kerr, Horace Grant, and the Chicago Bulls. That'll be an 8 o'clock game tomorrow night on MMS. Who they got over there? Otto Porter Jr.? They got a lineup you would not believe in Chicago.
On Chicago, they
Lauri
got
Markkanen.
Lauri Markkanen. They got, what's his face?
Norm
Zach
Van Leer.
Levine.
Norm
He's
Van
great.
Leer.
I don't know about him.
Oh. Kirk Heinrich.
Nope, retired.
Tony Kukoc.
Gone.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll look into it. But I'll have my Bulls cap on, and I'll be cheering and hoping that... I remember Horace Grant, you know, it makes me... it always reminds me of... Remember Sharon Reed, that Foxy news anchor that was here many years ago, right? She's bounced around since then. She left town. She used to be at Channel 19. And she kind of made her mark in this market by getting naked at some art installation or something. But she was real foxy. And this was the girl where allegedly she got knocked up by LeBron or something, you know. In every city where there's a real hot news anchor, which is most cities, large or small, you'll find a hot news anchor. They'll invariably get rumored to be with whoever the alpha is in that area's sports, right? So Sharon Reed, who went to St. Louis for a while, I think she's in Atlanta now. If she's not on the beach, as they say. I don't even know if she's still on the air. But that was the rumor for a while, is that like when she got pregnant, oh, it was LeBron, you know? And then, of course, everybody involved gets pissed.
Because
Yes,
right, by that. That's
rightfully
stupid.
so. That's right, rightfully so. And then when she left,
But what if it was true?
it wasn't true. It was demonstrably not true.
Okay.
Like I work
right?
my ass off, and then you think I'm some groupie hoe that just gets pregnant by LeBron.
Hey,
Exactly.
I don't think that makes you a groupie hoe to try and get LeBron, you know.
He's
But
a
she was,
married man.
but she was also, and she was married and successful in her own right.
That's what I'm
Whatever,
saying.
right?
Well, then, yeah.
But it reminds me of in Chicago many years ago, there was a Foxy anchor named Joan Esposito. She's the NBC affiliate. And the rumor there was that she got knocked up by Horace Grant, who was on the Bulls at the time. And it was the same thing. Untrue. She was married. I don't know if he was. But it starts to creep into those people's careers. And she hasn't been on the air in a long time. But it really did a number to her for her like public image because people were whispering that kind of stuff. When Sharon Reed left town, which is a normal thing to do in this business, it's very nomadic. You're just moving around.
And there's
People are
not-
like, oh, she's getting out of town because LeBron's setting her up somewhere. I'm like, oh my God.
And it
You
doesn't-
people are bored.
doesn't happen the other way either. It's not like no one's like, oh, did you hear that Chris Ty hooked up with Cheryl Swoops?
Oh, yeah. You know, what happened was he met her at Home Depot. They went straight to buy a ladder, and then they hooked up, boy.
Yeah, that's-
he got in the top rung, and he had his way.
Yup.
That's so annoying being a hot girl. You're automatically assumed to be like a bust down. Like any type
What's
of...
that mean?
A groupie hoe. Like a bust down, someone you just come through.
A bust down or a bus down?
BUSSDOWN.
What's bus?
Like,
That's supposed to be like bust?
yeah.
So bust down.
Yeah. But no, they say bust down, not BUST.
But what's BUSS?
I'm about... just it's slang for I'm about to bust.
All right, I
I'm
don't
about
know.
to bust.
Bus a nut?
Yeah, that's
All
what they
right,
say.
but it's derived from bust.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
See,
Paul Stanley driving this RTA bus.
okay, I'm just trying to get my
Yeah.
pound cake to Alan.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't make that a bust down.
No,
been
I
around
know.
for-
No, I've heard it before.
You're the conduit, though. You know, yeah.
Just not something we use
Bust down.
on
But
a
that-
regular
that-
basis.
I'm gonna now, Bill.
That's just super offensive. I don't like
I'm
that.
gonna be like, baby, our daughter's spending the night with your mom. Let's bus. Let's get a bust down going.
I love the slang terms of, you know, getting ready to reach the top of the mountain. Like,
Reach the top of the mountain.
yeah.
Who are you?
That's what I say.
I'm about to reach the top of the
I'm going
mountain.
to reach the top of the mountain.
Oh, I'm spelunking.
The hills are alive.
Right.
I'm about to buzz down.
Out the yodel.
Yeah, all right. Top of the mountain. Sir Edmund Hillary over here is doing something. But yeah, you know, it's rare. That's why if you're a female, if you're prominent at all in local media and you're a female, life can potentially be harder for you if your town has a professional sports team. Because you go, all right, well, how long am I going to be here before people in this town, before media writers or whoever get bored, you know? Because that stuff all starts
Right.
on, like, you know, some sports radio host goes, well, word is...
Did you check the chemistry between those two in that interview?
She sued. The guy who first mentioned it was on one of the sports stations in Chicago. She sued the guy.
Good.
For
Oh,
like
wow.
25... Sued the radio station. It's not like the guy had $25 million.
That's defamation. That's
of course it
wrong.
is.
And if she is losing out on jobs because of that, rightfully to sue.
Yeah, I don't know if she... I don't think it... I don't know that it affected her career. But, you know, perception is reality in this business.
I imagine why.
And so she took it pretty hard.
Why didn't the athlete speak out?
They all did.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But at that point, they're like, oh, what are they going to say?
Yeah, they got to
Of course
deny
they got to
it.
deny it. Yeah,
of course.
because like they were both seen at the same... I don't even know what the connective tissue was, allegedly, that they were both at some function. They're like, oh, wow, an athlete and some news anchor at the same function.
Can't imagine that.
Yeah, what are the odds of that?
Well, you worked for the Chicago Sky for a while.
I sure did, Bill. And I'll tell you,
any trysts there?
the rumors were flying that
Alan.
AC and Margaret Stenger, if you want to Google her,
I think.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that ever played for the Sky. I know like
No,
five
she's the owner.
players. Oh, she's the
Bill, I go to the top.
Oh, okay.
I go to
wow.
you Google Margaret Stenger. I'll give you a second.
Alan was the bus down.
He's bust down into the top.
Yes, the tippity top. All right.
Top of the mountain.
I go for the C-suite, baby.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Worth every cent.
Yeah, it was me and Candace Parker and Margaret Stenger in a threesome. And boy, we were trading salacious messages all the way through. I'd get out there. I was the in-arena host for a few years, and I'd get out there and I'd be announcing the games.
Did you have like a little code word that you would say that was like a nice nod to her? Like a little, you know, like Karl Malone would say hi to his daughter while he was shooting free throws and stuff. Do you have something like that?
Oh, yeah. I would do the old Carol Burnett thing. Remember, she famously said goodnight to her grandmother by tugging on her ear?
Oh, yeah.
Right. I would tug on my penis.
Very subtle.
I would make a sexy noise into the microphone, and that's how she knew that I was
That's for you, Stanger, baby.
speaking to her in code. And, right. Those are the noises you'd hear over the PA system there at the Sears Center. All right, I got a break. Hey, Mark Maron is going to be in town doing a show. It's called the Hey, There's More Tour. And if it is not sold out, and it might be, my ex-wife called me about something and mentioned that she was going to see Mark Maron the night after Cleveland out in Grand Rapids. And she was beside herself. She was so excited. I'll put you at the Agora next Thursday for Mark Maron. AgoraCleveland.com if you want to see if there are tickets for sale, but I'll give you a pair. Last pair this week after the break. 35192 if you want to text.
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS and everywhere you go on our free iHeart